is Ayana Bhattacharjee from 4B.
Good evening, respected judges, teachers, and my dear friends. My name is Ayana Bhattacharjee, and today I will be presenting excerpts from the speech I Have a Dream, delivered by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. at the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. on August 28th, 1963. Let us not wallow in the valley of despair. I say to you today, my friends, and so even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my four little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted and every hill and mountain shall be made low. The rough places will be made plain and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope, and this is the faith that I go back to the south with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to walk together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. Thank you.
Good afternoon all. Kiran Bedi is an inspiration to me and to millions as she was the first woman to join the Indian police. And hence, today, I, Demira Palse from 4H, will be giving a declamation by Kiran Bedi which she addressed at the TED Women's stage on 29th Incline. You either go up or you come down. And 100 things happen in your life, good or bad. Out of 190 are your creations. They are good, they are your creation. Enjoy. If they are bad, they are your creation. Learn from them. I followed these two principles which my father and mother gave me. When I was born in 50s and 60s didn't belong to girls in India. We were 4 daughters and a father sent 4 of us to the best school for education. And now we are in the 4 corners of the world. So this is the foundation time which I got. I joined the Indian Police Service as a tough woman. For me, policing stood for a power to correct, the power to prevent, and power to detect. I was known as, here's a woman that's not going to listen. Hence I was sent to all indiscriminate postings which others would say no. I now went into prison assignment as a police officer. We started early morning meditation for the prisoner and also education program was introduced. 9 to 11 every day, prisoners went into education program. Why did I bring meditation into Indian prison? Because crime is a product of distorted mind. It was a distortion of mind which needed to be addressed to control. Feedback box and a petition box. This is the concept which I introduced helped me to connect with all prisoners. Converting jail into an ashram by introducing meditation and education program. I think that's a big change. Indeed, this woman does not listen to anyone. Thank you.
Ishan. Let's welcome our next participant in Ishan Mahadeshwar from 4T.
Religion. Do we all really understand the meaning of this word? Primarily formed to help one find a purpose and meaning in life. Later, sadly became a reason to exploit and discriminate others. I, Ishan Mahadeshwar, would like to take this opportunity to put forth Swami Vivekananda's views from his speech in 1893 at the World Convention of Parliament of Religions at Chicago. He had introduced Hinduism to the world then. Sisters and brothers of America, it fills my heart with joy unspeakable to rise in response to the warm and cordial welcome which you have given us. I thank you in the name of the most ancient order of monks in the world, and I thank you in the name of millions of Hindu people of all classes and sects. I am proud to belong to a religion which has taught the world both tolerance and universal acceptance. We believe not only in universal toleration, but we accept all religions as true. I am proud to belong to a nation which has sheltered the persecuted and the refugees of all religions and all nations of the earth. The present convention, which is one of the most august assemblies ever held, is in itself a declaration to the world of the wonderful doctrine preached in the Gita. Whosoever comes to me, through whatsoever form, I reach him. All men are struggling through paths which in the end lead to being. Sectarianism, bigotry, and its horrible descendant, have long possessed this beautiful earth. They have filled the earth with violence, drenched it often with human blood, destroyed civilizations, and sent whole nations to despair. Had it not been for these horrible demons, human society would be far more advanced than it is now. But their time is come, and I fervently hope that the bell that tolled this morning in honor of this convention may be the death knell of all fanaticism, of all persecutions with the sword or with the pen, and of all charitable feelings between persons wending their way to the same goal. Thank you.
I'm Kurade from 4J. I will be delivering the first speech given by a part of the first speech given by Sir Winston Churchill as Prime Minister to the House of Commons when he met his cabinet on May 13, 1940. I would say to the House, as I said to those who joined the government, I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears, and sweat. We have before us an ordeal of the most grievous kind. We have before us many, many long months of struggle and of suffering. You ask, what is our policy? I will say it is to wage war by sea, land, and air, with all our might, with all the strength that God can give us. To wage war against the monstrous tyranny never surpassed in the dark and lamentable catalogue of human crime. That is our policy. You ask, what is our aim? I can answer in one word, victory. Victory at all costs. Victory in spite of all terror. Victory, however long and hard the road may be. For without victory, there is no survival. Let that be realized. No survival for the British Empire. No survival for all that British Empire has stood for. No survival for the urge and impulse of the ages, that mankind will move forward towards its goal. But I take up my task with buoyancy and hope. I feel sure that our cause will not be suffered to fail among men. At this time, I feel entitled to claim the aid of all. And I say, come then, let us go forward together with our united strength. Thank you.
The speech I Have a Dream was delivered by Martin Luther King Jr. on August 28, 1963. I say to you today, my friends, so even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day down in Alabama. Oh, ma'am, can I restart?
Yes, beta, yes.
Yes, you can, dear.
The speech I Have a Dream was delivered by Martin Luther King Jr. on August 28, 1963. I say to you today, my friends, so even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and the sons of former slaveholders will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even in the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that one day my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin but by the content of their character. I have a dream that one day down in Alabama with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification. One day, right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, every hill and mountain shall be made low, and all the rough places will be made plain, and all the crooked places will be made straight. And all the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is the faith that I go back to the south with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to fight for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. Thank you.
Powerful weapon. It is the only solution. This inspiring message by Malala Yousafzai echoed at the United Nations Youth Assembly on 12 July 2013. I, Nena Nakra, will proudly be presenting the same speech. Malala Day is not only my day. Today is the day of every woman, boy, and girl who have raised their voices for their rights. When the whole world is silent, even one voice becomes powerful. Here I stand, one girl among many. I speak not for myself, but for those without a voice. Dear friends, on 9th October 2012, the Taliban shot me and my friends. They thought the bullet would silence us, but they failed because out of that silence came thousands of voices. They thought they would change my aims and ambitions, but nothing changed except that day, fear, hopelessness, and weakness died. Strength, power, and courage was born. I am the same Malala. My hopes and dreams are the same. The wise saying, the pen is mightier than the sword, was true. The terrorists were and are afraid of the power of knowledge. They are afraid of the voice of the woman. Dear brothers and sisters, now is the time to speak up. We call upon all the governments for compulsory education for each child. We call upon all the governments to fight against terrorism and violence. We call upon all the communities for freedom and equality for all women. Let us empower ourselves with the power of knowledge. Let us pick up our books and pens. Remember, one child, one teacher, one book, one pen can change the world. Thank you.
Good evening. I am Amisha Sharma from class 4F. Today, I will share a speech, Stay Hungry, Stay Foolish, said by Steve Jobs on 2005 in Stanford University. I am honored to be among you today while you graduate from one of the finest universities in the world. I never graduated from college, and this is the closest I have ever gotten to a college graduation. Today, I want to tell you a story from my life. This story is about connecting the dots. I dropped out of Reed College after the first 6 months, then stayed in university campus for 18 months. So why did I drop out? It all started before I was born. My biological mother had decided to put me up for adoption by college graduates, a lawyer and his wife. However, they decided that they really wanted a girl. So the opportunity came to my parents. As my parents never graduated from college, my biological mother signed final adoption papers only after they had promised that I would go to college. And 17 years later, I did go to college. But I chose a college which was almost as expensive as Stanford. And all my parents' savings were being spent on my college tuition. After 6 months, I couldn't see the value in it. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life and no idea how college was going to help me figure it out. So, I decided to drop out and trust that it would all work out okay. It was scary, yet I did it. As I dropped out, I could skip classes that didn't interest me and attend the ones that did. It wasn't all romantic. I didn't have a room to sleep and money to buy food, yet I loved it. Whatever I did then, following my curiosity and intuition, turned out to be priceless later. Let me give you one example. Reed College at the time offered perhaps the best calligraphy instruction in the country. As I dropped out, I decided to take a calligraphy class. I learned a great deal about calligraphy and found it to be beautiful and fascinating. I didn't expect any of this to have any practical application in my life. But 10 years later, when we were designing the first Macintosh computer, it all came back to me, and we designed it all into the Mac. It was the first computer with beautiful typography. Of course, it was impossible to connect the dots looking forward when I was in college, but it was very, very clear looking backwards 10 years later. Again, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you must trust that the dots will somehow connect in the future. This approach has never let me down and it has made all the difference in my life. Thank you.